account. So the cataclysm basically for the entire Sinder controversy was this tweet by Nanoless, where she says, "Hello, I'm here to share something that has affected me personally and hurt others. This was very hard for me, but I feel it is necessary. Please do not send hate to anyone on my behalf. This is all I want to say." So Nanoless, for those who don't know, she's a very popular Vtuber artist. If you've seen a big Vtuber, big indie Vtuber, or Vshoujo Vtuber debuting a new model, it's probably made by Nanoless. She's very, very much sought after. And in this Google Doc, this is the cataclysm that basically created a snowball effect for everything that happened and everything that's happened up until now. In this Google Doc, Nanoless says that she wanted to share her experience with Sinder and Red, aka Redacted, manipulating her, using her, and dragging her into drama. She says, "While sabotaging, slandering, and spreading lies about people I thought were my closest friends. Not only do I no longer wish to work with Sinder, I thought were her closest friends. Not only do I no longer wish to work with Sinder, but I want to share what I've endured over the years and shed light on what she has been doing behind people's back to protect artists and friends that may be experiencing something similar. I struggled a lot with writing this document and wasn't sure if what I felt and experienced working was real or just burnout. Based on working with Redacted, Red Sinder's manager, and Sinder over the years, that I am sure they speak for each other and there is no reason to believe Red was acting without Sinder's consent and knowledge. Whenever I use they or them, it refers to both of them acting as a team. English not being my first language and the language barrier, I discuss the situation, my feelings and thoughts with native English speakers who helped me put them into words so everything is clear without any misunderstandings due to the lack of English skills. Any names that are censored here were censored because the creator in question did not provide consent to have their names revealed by the time of me posting this document." So she did reach out to a few people before posting this, asking them if it was okay. So the first point is slandering other creators. I will start with, and before we start, I guess I'll make a point of saying that Sinder, and I guess most of these creators, are known to have a very positive, a very cozy kind of community, you know, just good vibes, cute girls doing cute things. And they're all part of this VTuber group called Girly Pop. Girly Pop is constituted of Vienna VTuber, Bao, Sinder, Yuzu, and Tricky. Numi. Shy Lily is not in Girly Pop, but she's like a rotating, like she's close to the group. Her and Cottontail and Buff Pup. So all of these girls, you know, they've met each other and their friendship presumably extends beyond just working together and live streaming together. So, first point, slandering other creators. I'll start with screenshots showing them speaking ill of other creators and spreading rumors while manipulating me, and that it's all in our best interest. In addition to spreading ill rumors, they also complain and accuse Bao of giving their editor too much work, resulting in the editor not having any time for new clients, which will be important later on. So put a pin on that because other Google Docs end up debunking what Redacted says in the screenshot, but corroborating this statement. The screenshots below show them showing their affection and appreciation immediately, followed by spreading rumors and lies to make other clients appear problematic to manipulate any future decisions regarding commissions. So here, Nanoless is saying, I wanted to understand it better, especially if I cancel her for the second time. And then Redacted, which is Sinder's manager, says, well, with, bar that name, she's given a lot of bias and priority at GS, sometimes over Sinder, and we can't really confront them about it. And plus she's gone 3D lately. Bao has been getting on our nerves for a while. She hijacked our YouTube editor a while ago and is constantly picking up artists that we work with. We've gotten to know her better being friends with her, but she really rubs us the wrong way with the things she does. We wanted to try and safeguard our most important artist from her, since she's already taking our editor. And I don't mean taken like he doesn't work with us anymore. He does, but he has to dedicate time for her now, and sometimes that gets in the way of our project. Also, one of Bao's MV editors is the one that did the Boss Rush MV, and we're 99% sure she told him not to do any more with us. But like model art is the most important thing, that's a VTuber entire image. In this other screenshot, Redacted says, well, we love working with you. Sinder wouldn't be Sinder without Nano. But like, let me tell you the tea about the MV thing. Bao had original songs last year that had MVs by her editor, and the songs flopped. Her editor met us at TwitchCon and was saying that he'd love to work with us, practically jumping through hoops to get something planned. Also put a pin in these screenshots, because we're gonna get back to them later. We managed to have him squeeze in the Boss Rush MV between his work with Bao. He says he loved working on it and he's super excited to work on the next MV project. Boss Rush Songs blows up and he's credited as the editor. I ask him when he's free to do the next project and all of a sudden he changes his mind and is only working with Bao going forward. No explanation. There's some context missing since we know how Bao is behind the scenes, but basically we don't have an MV editor now for our next Boss Rush project. We think Bao got pissed that her editor did an original song MV for her friends without her knowing, and it did 100 times better than her original song last year, that she locked him up so no one else could work with him. And then had him make it public on Twitter that he was only working with her going forward, but it's a little announcement tweet. Yeah, that's kind of how exclusivity deals work. And now she's been barking up the tree of our L2D animators, so like NU and a Nano model. Nano replies, yeah, looking for me sounds sus for sure. He says, it's so annoying. I don't know, man. She has a way of guilt-tripping people to get her way. And then comment later. Red asked me to cancel on one of their closest friends, Bao, by asking me to cancel my work mid-progress. I think dude, I would fucking freak out if somebody canceled a project on me like last minute or mid-progress. I've had my debut trailer, like just a little, the teaser, canceled. I think 1 week before my debut or a few days, and it really screws you over because then you gotta pay double rush fee to another artist, and it's very stressful. So Red asked me to cancel on one of their closest friends by asking me to cancel my work mid-progress, manipulating me into thinking it's okay since she has many connections, and she'll be fine. Anyway, so I wouldn't feel guilty about it or worry too much. It was and is upsetting to me that Red contacted me specifically to check on me canceling the model I had planned with Bao. Did you cancel models? That would rub me the wrong way too. Yo, did you cancel the model with that person, by the way? Like I asked you to? She says, I did not. Nano arc delayed in 2026. I'm scared to cancel with Bao. You shouldn't be. She has so many connections. She'll find somebody super fast. Did she already design her outfit? I remember her showing it to us at WeepCon. Yeah, so they saw the initial sketch. Yeah, I can give her the design for free as an apology gift. In the messages below, they mentioned wanting an exclusivity contract but didn't want to pay for an exclusivity. But rather, when a creator from their blacklist comes asking for a commission, they would guarantee me model work for Sinder only, and if anyone asked me for commissions, they'd commission me instead to compensate for not working with other creators. That's not how exclusivity deals work. You're supposed to be compensated way more than just the regular amount of commissions you would usually get. Branching out to multiple creators makes you cast a wider net than only working with a single one. This felt very strange given that one of the accusations they made was overworking their editor, yet their solution to me working with other creators was for them to essentially overwork me to keep me from working on other projects. The messages below show that their primary concern is that more non-Sinder models I make, the less valuable my existing models become. That was also a very odd thing to say to me. It's hard to say how much this messed with my mind as an artist that by working with other people, I'm somehow making my existing models less special. Following screenshot is of them setting up the blacklist, saying I'm not allowed to work with any new clients or create any new outfits for Vtuber 1. Specifically, and justifying those things by saying that with each model, my art becomes less unique and special, and therefore Sinder somehow will become less special. The idea that my work as an artist and designer is devalued by working with other people is insane and hurtful. After realizing that taking a deal with them would really mean for both my workload and my mental health, I backed out. I mean, like, if you wanted to have some kind of model exclusivity, what would you need to make that sustainable for you? Maybe you can share one of your ideas and I can check what I think. Okay, so I got some ideas for this, I guess. I was driving, what are you thinking? So I asked help from my friends. So a monthly fee, calculating my monthly earnings, and also how long would this be, and if this counts for models I already worked on. Well, I think the main thing we're looking for are for you not to take on any brand new model clients and to not make any new models outfits with redacted name again. It's a very specific name there that they're kind of blacklisting. You'd still be able to work on models/outfits with all of your other existing babies, and your artwork comms wouldn't be affected. One of our concerns is that more nano babies mean nano models don't have the same value anymore. And second is that there's a few people that we just would rather not be able to have a model from you. Maybe not any new babies at all. The reason why I brought this up at all is that there's been a lot of bias with another one of our partners, with certain creators. We'd rather these creators not have what makes Sinder unique, which is your artwork. Just drama. What about we can pay redacted name for you and you don't have to discount it from the next payment, and we'll continue giving you lots of model work. I think 4 is here right now, but you don't work with redacted, or redacted at all. Again, models or art. I don't think you've ever done anything with redacted before. We also have another GS label for you too. The AFK. Is there any way to add a little bit more since redacted still asks for art every now and then? He responds, we could do it like when redacted asks for art, you tell her no, and then tell us to buy another art piece. Like, so you still get a job from it. Yeah, she could just decline commissions if it gets too much for her. Like, her own workload is her own responsibility, not theirs. If they want to prioritize their asset, like if Sinder wants new assets for her model, usually artists will prioritize people they've already done models for in the past. If they want a new toggle or a new debut, that's why a lot of artists don't really take on new clients. And, you know, if Sinder can, plan things in advance, so Nano is available to work on these assets. Another example of speaking ill of other creators right after they saw I was working with Shia Lily, trying to once again make the idea of working with other clients seem like I am setting myself up with problematic people who will do me no good in the long run. Imagine saying that working with Shia Lily will do you no good in the long run when every single artist that she works with fucking blows up and gets tons of publicity. She is known for her models. They also continuously kept asking about my other clients' plans, which for them made the antenna go up, and immediately went into slandering Lily. They consistently tried to reassure me that despite their best efforts, they just happened to keep trying to bring drama in as reasons for me to go exclusive, and that working only with Sinder is them trying to look out for me. Hey Nano, do you have any more plans with Lily besides just a model? Like outfits or merch or anything? Been just a model so far. Okay, her asking you for a model recently just made the antenna go up. She's been acting weird towards Sinder lately and we don't know if something's going on. Oh, that's weird. Ever since after V-Card launched. But what do you consider weird? Lately dipping out of collabs that we're both a part of at the last minute, and now ghosting her messages. Cinder's raided her a couple times in the past week and Lily won't acknowledge Sinder by name. Just weird petty stuff, I don't know. That's super weird since they both share the same store. Around V-Card's launch, they were talking and collabing and I don't know what happened, but her asking you for a model after that was just weird, even though she said she doesn't plan on getting a new model anytime soon. I don't know, I hate that we keep bringing you into drama. Then stop bringing her into drama. I feel like the people that you work with, the freelancers, they shouldn't care or be involved about VTuber's drama. Yeah, I thought it was quite early to go for a new model. Redacting looks a bit menacing, so I don't talk to her. Feels like we're gonna have to compete with Lily if she's ghosting Sinder and wants the same model mama. That line is crazy. Okay, that line is crazy. If somebody's ghosting me, they can't have the same editor as me? Is that how it works? What kind of weird competitive... This is not healthy competition. I'm a competitive person. It's meant to make you be better, not to have other people jump through hoops for you. I didn't know I had to gatekeep my artists and shit and my editors. I share so much resources with my friends and vice versa, and I didn't know anybody gatekept these things. I don't get it. There's enough work for people to go around. If you want somebody to work more with you, just give them more work or pay better. The idea that they need to stay informed and gauge the competition is extremely upsetting and toxic to me. The competition they refer to are people I thought they considered friends. who always helped, supported, and platformed Sinder. When I pushed back, the immediate response was blaming the other creators and implying that they initiated it by trying to work with me, and that somehow justified their action. They implied Lily ignored Sinder when she spent over a minute thanking the raid, which you can see in this clip.
Ignore what you just saw. Okay. Ooh! Oh my goodness! Hello! Oh! Hello, raiders! I am playing Berserker. It's called The Last Berserker Kazan. We were sponsored, but the game was really fun, so I just kept playing for like a million more hours. Hello, everyone! Hello! The Pyropop raid! Hello, Pyropops! What did you guys do? I am low-key addicted. I usually... Okay, so most people know me for my gacha.
Okay, so she just didn't mention Sinder by name, but she took the time to acknowledge the raid. I don't think that's bad. I think she did fine. She said Pyropups too. I'm sure it's not the first time they raided each other, right? Alright, so Red continues. Real? Is it just Sinder and Redacted you've been doing continuous model outfits for? We'll have the demon update list plus final arcade reference for you soon as it's finished. I think it is. I have an outfit for Redacted planned too. As for Redacted, got nothing for now, but she always comes up with something. Do you know who's rigging Lily's model? It's gonna be, bar that name. Thanks, Nano. Sorry for all the questions. Just gotta stay informed. Especially when it comes to our top artist. Never a break. Damn, it feels tiring to be that guy. It feels tiring to be in this household. I don't know if they live together or what, but it doesn't sound fun. Don't worry, just don't stress too much with the side things. It's bad for balding. I'm gonna go bald now. I'll keep you in the loop about anything else going on with that. The balding? No, you fool. Just stupid drama. They're the one making up the drama, though. Gotta stay competitive, even when we shouldn't have to. Also, your PFP looks like a guy with a mustache. Don't go too far in the competitiveness. It can be bad. Gotta chill sometimes. Hey, it's not us. We aren't the ones getting a model from the artist of the other GS owner out of the blue and ghosting them and refusing to acknowledge them. Yeah, that's drama. Totally. That's totally what I would call drama. Below, I wanted to push back and make clear I wasn't comfortable on being dragged into drama, and they respond by bringing up more drama and baseless claims. All while trying to guilt trip me. It is ironic and crazy to me that I mentioned not wanting to be dragged into personal issues, only for them to on multiple occasions mention other people's alleged drama. So this is an exchange between Nanoless and Sinder specifically. I wanted to apologize personally to you since I've talked about that with Fred, but I just don't want to be dragged on any personal issues like that. After all, Redacted is still a client. It makes me anxious and kind of destroys my mental to do this kind of deal. I just wanted to let you know I still love working with you and Red, but I'll understand if things doesn't work out because of Redacted. I just love my clients, that's all. Sinder replies, I get it, Nano, and it was unfair to push this on you. But it's just really confusing going back and forth about it. You guys are the one going back and forth on it though. I just get compared to her a lot even still today, and it's like I'm living in someone's shadow. Which is one reason why Red asked about not making any more models for her. And when you said, I understand if things don't work out, it makes me feel like you're okay with not working with me anymore. Which hurts so much after all this time. I really appreciate you, Nano, and it's your decision who you ultimately work with, but this is how I've been feeling. I really don't see the point of keeping thinking about being compared to Redacted. You're so much bigger already. You've done so much more. And that's true. Cinder's like a huge indie. Who cares if a few randos compare her to Silverveil? But I would never give Redacted any priority over you. Also, there's not even any model for her being discussed. I just want to sleep clear-minded. Also, I'm fine not doing her models, but at least Gamer Sub's art stuff would be fine with me. I don't want to be 100% an asshole to her, that's all. It's not me but others people's opinion of us, and I'm just trying to not get involved in any drama that other people want to talk about comparing us. But I understand where you're coming from, Nano. There's no hard feelings. Sorry about this. So they're doing the like good cop, bad cop thing. Red comes in with the strong stance. Cinder's like the good cop. Nano says, sorry about this. My mental is just a bit weak. Replies, same girl. I'm sorry for bringing this up to you. I want you to get that money. The whole situation is just kind of sucky. I want to get along. I understand things don't work out about this. It would be mostly if you hate me for not burning Redacted down from my list. I would never hate you. Think you insane. I'm just an insecure bitch. I love everything we've done together. I want to keep doing more. People saying dumb shit online just makes me stressed. Justifying their behavior by stating that they are simply looking out for me when none of this has anything to do with me to begin with, and manipulating me into being grateful for earning well thanks to them, despite the loss of work from long-time returning clients and new clients. Now concerning my work and models as a team, another example of going after other clients of mine from before, claiming that having more clients alongside them makes my work less special with the recurrence of "is just business." Manipulating me into believing that working with her is special for multiple reasons and that I risk losing that special something as a client if I prefer to work with others. No acknowledgement of my reasoning and need of working with other clients due to the nature of my work, solely focused on their issues. I would also like to note again that this screenshot is one of many occasions that indicates that Red speaks on Cinder's behalf. I was originally concerned with everything going through Red that it may not have been 100% of Cinder's feelings or wants. I messaged her about it to make sure that he spoke on her behalf and confirmed with both of them this was the case. Hey Cinder, hope you're doing okay. I talked with Fred. I believe he talked to you already and thought it would be best if I just check here personally. I actually wanted to know better your thoughts because Red tried to talk to me and I think I misunderstood things. What's up, Nano? It's mostly about this. It's like when everybody's a nano baby, it makes it feel less special to be one. That is 101 gaslit, by the way. I fought on canceling some models because of it, but then I realized it's not really fair to me. Cinder says, I understand what he means, but at the end of the day, it's just business. The iconic line that's been memed on repeatedly after. Of course, we love working with you and want to keep working together, but if you prefer to work with other clients instead of me, I know it's for a reason for you to help grow and not because you don't like me. Being one of your very first model baby was so amazing. I was happy to be able to find someone to help you with L2D cutting and to improve your skills. And I think that's a big part of why everyone loved the 1.0 model, asking you for them. So it's not because of Nano that Nano's art was recognized. It's because of Cinder, who helped her find an L2D person to help them with the cutting. I can have Red send you a list of our plans for the future and estimated due dates, so just let us know what you actually want to work on. That way I have time to look for someone else if you don't have time for my projects or don't want to do them. It feels special to only have your model art for all my outfits, but just let me know if you don't have time for me to be an exclusive Nano art baby anymore. I mean, she could have been an exclusive art baby, but you need to pay her for that. It's no personal reason I would never do something like this to you or anyone, but yeah, it's important for my job to reach far and I like working on different projects and people. I never said I don't want to work with you anymore. I told Red that even though I have my other work, we'll always have a way to get you a priority spot when possible. You will always be my special baby. I also think it's important for you to work on projects you're excited about. I'll go through my plans with Red and send you our ideas to see if it's possible with your schedule. I know he can be a little pushy sometimes, but it's because he's just doing business for me to grow too. And he absolutely loves your work just as much as I do. Red tries to make it look they never meant for it to appear like they wanted me to be exclusive by framing it as something I wanted, while immediately doubling down on the fact that me working with more people makes my work less special and no longer unique, as if every design is just a Cinder clone. So it's about working with Cinder. My friends told me it's a bit unfair for me to stop other models so I do more for Cinder, which I agree with them. I'm a free artist and I should do whatever I want to do. I don't want to take sides on any drama or situations. I still will always have a way to have open slots for Cinder, but I won't be having her as my only customer. I agree, you're a free artist and you should do what you want, but I was under the impression that taking on more Cinder work is what you wanted to do. I didn't think it was like we were making you do that. I guess we got a misunderstanding. It's more about this, and then she, quotes him, not to discredit any of your work because... Oh, I see. I mean, what I said is still true about how we feel, but I wasn't saying you had to only do Cinder work from now on. That's with anything, though, not just your work. If you have something special and then everyone wants it and gets that thing, it makes it less special. Now he's saying... Yeah, I hate this thing. I still hate that line where he's saying that if you do... It doesn't work like that with artists. It's not like getting into a club, okay? Where you gotta fake a lineup to make it feel exclusive and cool. This is not a nightclub. It's an artist. And the more high profile clients she gets, the better it is. I'm sorry you were under the impression we were trying to make you only do work for us. I will keep things more business talk and less emotional. Just let me know how this will affect your schedule so I can tell Sinder after. Sorry for the stress. But every single model I do is unique and I make them special in their way. It's not like I'm selling Sinder to everyone. Please don't feel this way. No, I know you pour your heart and soul into your models and they're all incredible. I'm sorry I made you both feel this way too. It's simply business. Normalizing their behavior once again by stating that it's simply business to sabotage other VTubers' career and not work with them and focus on Sinder instead. They're really emphasized on the business stuff. Yeah, I know he can be a little pushy sometimes, but it's because he's just doing business for me to grow too. I feel like she's on board with this. I really feel like they're doing the good cop, bad cop, gimmick. It's okay, Nano, you're just making a living and making a name for yourself, and I can't blame you for accepting work from other big names in the industry and having very desirable talent. If you end up filling your model schedule again like it was, let me know. We'll have to replan some things depending on that. Thank you for understanding my side. We're all trying to have our name somewhere. Just don't take this personal or anything. I still love working with you guys. Business is business. Oh my god. It's so cringe. Business is business. And if you want to go through the projects we talked about, and let me know which ones you'd want to do too. I don't want to take sides. Then he replies to one of the stuff she said earlier. I don't want to take sides on any drama or situation. And then he says, is this about redacted model, Nano? Yeah, I want to take it, but I don't want to disrespect Sinder. I just want to do pretty models, no hurt feelings. Business is business. Bro, stop saying that. You're not the Wolf of Wall Street. Business is business. Nano, you're a freelance artist and Redacted is a long-time client, so it makes sense to continue doing work for her. I understand the logistic of it. At the end of the day, you need to do what's best for you. I really appreciate for understanding my side. He sounds more understanding there. I do understanding your side too, but sadly it's something between you two, not me. I shouldn't get involved in this fight. Right, I know. I just didn't think our other conversation sounded like I was trying to make you not work with her on a model. What? Like Redacted specifically. Wait, he was trying not to make her work on a model. I think the main things we're looking for you to not take on any brand new model clients and not to make any new model outfits with Redacted again. That was one of the main things that we're looking for. But business is business. Maybe I just considered the situation too much. My mistake for thinking this way. It's okay. But are we good? This feels like a weird breakup. I'm stressing. Me and you are good. I still have to tell all this to Sinder. It'll be fine. Don't worry. I think she's still sleeping. The first time that I read the doc, that line felt odd to me too. Even though it looks innocuous. She's stressing out, asking if they're good, even though she did nothing wrong. And then Redacted is like, well, me and you are good. Of course, I still have to talk to Sinder. It's like he's like, she might not be good with this. He's kind of hinting at that. He could absolutely reassure her, but it's subtle. He's slipping that in there to make her stress a little more. Me and you are good, so it's not we're good, it's me and you are good, but I still have to tell all this to Sinder. But it'll be fine, don't worry. I think she's still sleeping, but I'll tell her when she wakes up. Yeah, he's gotta break the bad news to Sinder. Damage control, making sure none of this reaches the other VTubers and is all kept hush-hush. Yeah, that part. So it seems like they knew that what they were doing would look bad if it came out because they wanted to keep everything hush-hush. While also providing proof that they know what they do is ill-intended and should not get out, as it would cause issues for Sinder's career to be painted in this light. Note that the uncalled shot at VTuber 1 is even spoilered, a hidden message in Discord, so it wouldn't accidentally be leaked. I try to be transparent as much as possible. I think it's more fair for both sides this way. You didn't tell Redacted you cancelled because of Sinder, did you? No, I told them all it was a health issue. I would never blame anyone besides, redacted name, lol. We never wanted to make you feel like we're making you or forcing you to work on, not to work on something, especially if it's something you want to / don't want to do. And our conversation the other day wasn't meant to convince you of only doing Sinder work. Again, sorry that it sounded to you like I was telling you to only do Sinder work. I'll message you later. Well, let's see if bar.name wants a nano model or not, and hope bar.name finds someone else. the constant obsession with that's Vtuber 1, and claiming that she is asking for it by causing this unspoken competition, which is coming from absolutely no other source than Sinder herself. I think it's more like wanted her to recognize Sinder even though it literally doesn't matter. I feel like there's this unspoken competition between them, like they need to one-up each other because Vtuber 1 can't get along. But I also understand her point of view. A new VTuber who people says, looks, sounds, and act like you becomes just as successful as you in a year. If she did recognize Sinder as an equal or a friend, then it would be like she's endorsing her copy, or like I've seen some people say her replacement. Wow, dude, the jabs in there. My God. They share a lot of the same audience too. Like at the end of the day, it isn't about how much we make compared to her. We just want her to recognize, hey, Cinder's a big VTuber too. She got there on her own merit, just like you did. Get along. And the marketing potential and money they could make if they teamed up. I just know anything we do, she's watching and we'll take from or try out to. Oh my God. Oh my God. There's so much projections in there. It's insane. Oh my God. You know the spinning figure we have on our stream? VTuber 1 figure was announced on Wednesday. No spinning figure. Sinder debuted Saturday, everyone hears about it. Figure announced, spinning figure on screen with figure right next to it. VTuber 1 streamed yesterday, first stream since Sinder debut. Guess what? Spinning figure with exclamation mark figure next to it. Oh my God. Can't believe it. She put the spinning figure on her stream. She's copying her. These people they're obsessed. Like this is stalker behavior, man. Then like a month later, unfollowed her on Twitter and started taking her ideas, Cinder's ideas, like the flames, and now she's basically rebranded to more of a fire Cerberus, using fire emojis all the time, shaking my head. Never did that before. It's funny because she used to call herself a hellhound, but stopped when Cinder grew past her and now uses Cerberus or Cyberpup. Whatever her lore says is, I don't know. The unfollow is weird. How many times have we heard stories like that where two VTubers have similar models, people start making comparisons, there's this weird tension between them, and then they follow each other on Twitter, and then it spirals into this huge thing. So it's like there was also unprovoked tweets from her like, I didn't copy anyone else from my design is all me, this is who I am. Like, huh, who are you saying that to? Oh lol, on random Cinder clips on YouTube. Dude, they look at the comments on random Cinder clips on YouTube! How obsessed are they? There was one dedicated bar.name fan or someone she knew, I don't know, that would comment on these clips saying like, when are you going to clip bar.name? Only on Cinder clips. I'd like to highlight the irony of expecting to be entitled to recognition for her own efforts and size when her own active efforts are tied to sabotaging this very same VTuber. Yeah, they're like, we just want her to acknowledge us and say that, you know, and collab together. But hey, Dino, can you not make any more models for her, by the way? And also feeling entitled and insisting to be recognized by someone else is odd. Thanks for taking the time to read through everything. I hope everything makes sense and everyone who has been hurt, manipulated, or sabotaged by her will find closure. So Bao also came out with a document saying, I was very hurt by someone I thought was a friend. Oi, you! Yeah, you! Hi! If you're not subscribed to my second channel, I don't know what you're doing with your life. So take a moment, press the like button, press the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell on. And thank you so much. I appreciate you. Now let's get back into the video. And Bao's document feels a lot more personal. It feels, it just genuinely feels like she was deeply hurt by this. And from what I understand from Bao is that she's really a ride or die friend. Like she would do anything for her friends. So she really just speaks about her own experience in this. Hello, this is Bao. I will only speak to what Nonetheless has decided to share with the public and the messages that directly mention me by name. I would just like to kindly ask everyone to refrain from turning this into a witch hunt and remember that we're all still just humans at the end of the day. Before I start, I want to point out why I'm addressing both Sinder and Redacted/Red despite the messages being largely from Redacted. Many times throughout the messages, the words we, were, our occur numerous times. As someone who was close to and worked with Sinder for years, I have first-hand experience on how Sinder and Red collaborate and the extent to which Red operates as her primary point of contact in her professional and personal projects. It is that experience that leads me to believe that all requests and messages sent by Red were both known about and approved by Sinder. In March 2024, I announced that one of my subathon goals was a Live 2D model. Nonetheless was going to be the Live 2D illustrator. After she finished both the design and base model sketch, there was suddenly back and forth on whether or not she had the physical and mental capacity to continue my model. I was very sad as I had not only teased a screenshot of the model sketch on Twitter, but I had grown very attached to the design and showed it to all my friends. In a private group chat that Sinder was a part of, I shared how devastated I was, and she did not comment or say anything despite others in the group chat comforting and reassuring me. I now realize that the reason for her silence was because Sinder and Redacted were deliberately sabotaging ongoing comms and blocking VTubers such as myself from having access to art from Nanoless, all the while pretending to be her friend. I wanted to understand it better, especially if I cancel her for a second time. Okay, this is about the bus rush MV. Basically, Bao's document goes one by one against all of the accusations and reasons that Red gave Nanoless about why they think Bao did them wrong. So Nanoless asked Redacted on why he is encouraging her not to finish my model. Redacted then lists my name amongst various VTubers, as well as the vendetta Sinder and Redacted harbor against each. Bao has been getting on our nerves for a while. She hijacked our YouTube editor. She's constantly picking up artists that we work with. Now she's barking up a tree of one of our L2D animators, and she has a way of guilt-tripping others to get her way. This is what Redacted lists as reason why Nano should cancel her ongoing Live 2D commissions with, all the while continuing to collaborate with me and pretending to be my friend. This is not what friends do. Friends do not sabotage other friends out of business opportunities. Friends do not spread lies to fuel selfish narratives. Friends do not use the private information they get from the privilege of being close friends just to use it to manipulate others. If stepped on your friends and abusing your power and connection is how you get to the top, then I hope you realize no one will be left when you get there. And this is a screenshot where Redacted asked if Nano canceled the models. With Bao, no less. And her saying, I'm scared to cancel with Bao, and she shouldn't be because she has many connections. More screenshots from them urging Nano to cancel the ongoing Live 2D comm with me, even mentioning how excited I was about it when I showed them the design during Sinder and an Eyes concert at WeepCon in 2024. Don't sell yourself short. I think she'd be fine with taking the design and finding someone else. I wouldn't offer it for free, maybe half price if she starts shit. Damn, she said she would offer Bao. Okay, so Nano says that I can give her the design for free as an apology gift, and Redacted is like, don't sell yourself short. I wouldn't offer the design for free as an apology gift. Maybe give her half price if she starts shit. Not only are they making Nano cancel her design with Bao, they also want her to pay like the max amount she can for it. Yeah, you're right. I'll talk to her today. We'll also close the model inquiry today. Opening that was a mistake. I wouldn't offer it for free. Maybe half price if she starts shit, lol. I don't know what I have ever done to either Redacted or Sinder to deserve this level of vitriol toward me. I don't remember having any issue or any problem that couldn't have been solved by talking. Regarding the message where Sinder and Redacted openly accused me of stealing their YouTube editor Boss Rush music video animator as well as any artist I have worked with. So Bao, she screenshots an email conversation where she reached out to Kaiser. She says, I love watching your stream highlight of me and Sinder's collab. I loved your editing style. I was curious I could request a video edit from you every now and then. If you have any availability. My username is Bao on Discord if you want to chit chat more. Thanks again. And he says, I love to edit for you. Just send a friend request on Discord. She hijacked our YouTube editor. Their YouTube editor, Kaiser, is a mutual YouTube channel editor for myself and Sinder. My channel manager, June, and I asked Kaiser for one stream highlight per month. As we are aware of his extensive position as Sinder's channel manager, I made a point to note this in my inquiry email to him in 2023. So Bao makes the point that her demands to Sinder's editor were minimal. On March 20th, I started a group Discord call that lasted 5 hours to hang out with my editors. In this group call, Kaiser shared with us that he was afraid to ask Sinder for a raise because he initially turned down an exclusivity deal. As a friend to both Sinder and Kaiser, I encouraged him to take the deal and reassured him that I would not change our friendship as I would never want somebody I care about to miss an opportunity, even if it meant I would lose him as an editor. The other editors who were in the call can corroborate this. So she encouraged him to go get that bag, and she wouldn't have been upset if he went exclusive with Sinder. I'm sharing this context because there are no words to describe the hurt and betrayal I feel now, knowing that on the other side of this conversation, Sinder and Redacted were actively portraying me as a thief and a detriment to their business. I have only ever supported them and their activities and never once thought that I had somehow gotten on their nerves. Bao had original songs last year that had MVs by her editor and the songs flopped. Okay, so this is where he's like, let me tell you the tea about the MV thing. I'm in shock and disbelief that this is the narrative they decided I deserved. Saying that I harbored an invisible jealousy because my songs flopped made me feel sick to my stomach. In late 2024, I was dealing with debilitating TMJ pain that resulted in me having to drain fluid from my jaw joint to open my mouth properly. They both knew this. I've always wanted my friends to succeed alongside me, and I don't know how they could say these things while simultaneously weaponizing my most vulnerable moment against me. We're 99% sure she told him, Sacramore, not to do any more with us, Bushrah's music video. So these are new screenshots that weren't there in the first. He links to Sacramore tweet saying, after I finish up 2 more comps for Peeps, I'll be shutting down my comps forever and editing anonymously in-house for Bao Vtuber. Freelance has been fun and got to work with lots of really cool people, but I'm putting myself in Bao content as my only priority for the future. Anonymously in-house as in I will never be credited publicly so no one knows who does this work for Bao. Oh, it's literally it, lol. This is literally reads like a hostage note. I asked to be anonymous since I'd like to separate from being known as a freelancer. No one does this. No one decides to do this on their own. This was 2 weeks after Boss Rush came out. Nano replies, yeah, it's just pretty weird, lol. In these messages, Sinder and Redacted are referring to my animator, Sacramore, whom I have been working with since 2023. Then she posted dates where she contacted him in 2023, proof of how long we worked together. In 2024, Sact asked me if he could go completely exclusive from me and work for me in-house with no credit in order for him to be able to quietly work on his personal projects and brand without having VTubers ask him for more commission work. I was happy to accept. I want to reiterate that this was Sac's decision and no one else. Here's proof of Sac mentioning his wishes to be my in-house animator directly to my channel, Manager June, Bepist back in December 2020, refuting Redacted's claim that I locked him up due to Boss Rush success. So, is it fine if going forward I don't be credited in video descriptions? Bepist says, okay. Thank you. I'd rather just be more an in-house type of thing for Bao after this. Bar.ning thing is done. It's the last commission I ever do for anyone beside Bao. And want to make a name for myself through my own content and not really my work for others next year. So it was really all of his own volition. Him being anonymous, him wanting to go in-house instead of working with a single client instead of juggling multiple ones. Why aren't you solving this privately? If you look at the timeline of events from Nano's document, some of those messages date back years. I found out about this less than 48 hours ago, and they did not give me common courtesy of talking to me privately about this over those years. Also, I mean, these details will come out later, but Red and Sinder tried to sabotage projects with multiple artists, not just Nanoless. So it makes the most sense in this situation for them to do this publicly instead of messaging every single artist or trying to think of every single artist that was involved. It's just the easiest way to go about this. My thoughts feeling my most vulnerable, darkest moments that I shared in confidence with people I thought would be by my side years and years from now may have been used as information to ruin my chances to have the same VTuber model as someone I thought was my friend. And I don't know how I can ever be the same after this. That's crazy. She posted the screenshot of her sketch. She said she was excited, or she's excitedly telling her friend, hey, I'm working with Nanoless for this project. And they're using disinformation to try to convince Nano to cancel the project. And they lied to Nano about multiple things. Her hijacking the YouTube editor, the constantly picking up artists that we work with, and then picking up Sacramore and making him work anonymously to convince Nano to cancel the project on Bao. It was all based on lies. That's what makes this wrong. Nano gains nothing from canceling this project. I'd like to ask the community to refrain from spreading any harmful speculation. Everything shared in this document was done so with the express permission of those who shared it with me. I made this document with the intent to refute the claims made about me in the screenshots. Thank you for taking the time to read this. Sacramore also corroborates Bao's part here. Also with the part where Bao references the call, I was one of the people in the call and can confirm that she did say what it stated in the doc. And this is Bao's channel editor, June. Hello, I'm Bao's channel manager, and yes, I was there in the call with Kaiser, Bao, and Sak, and Bao encouraged Kaiser to take the raise. It was definitely something she thought would be best for him. Bao supported any opportunity or anything that Kaiser would choose to go. Numi replying to this, to the Bao doc, and Numi is also a close friend of this entire group. I mean, she's part of Girly Pop. I can't wrap my head around this. I feel betrayed and so hurt knowing someone would be so kind, then turn around and be so evil in the same breath. I don't know what else to say aside from, I'm sorry and I will always be there for you. Twintel, a very popular rigger, worked on Chai Lily's model. Also saying, sending you love, Nano. Just lots of people commenting on this. Sayu, Vtuber, wow, just wow. Waifu baby, this broke my heart. You've always been so sweet and kind and genuine. You've always been that way on the screen and off. I'm so sorry this happened to you. I hope you know you have all of our love and support. Okay, the Cottontail tweet is... This made my stomach drop to read. It makes me very sad to have things come out like this. Sending Nano and Bao so much love. Okay, so there's tons of tweets. They all say kind of the same thing, so maybe we don't have to go through all of them. Sinder's response. Effective immediately. Redacted will no longer be managing or overseeing my VTuber activities. He no longer represents me as a creator, my brand, or my intentions. I'm sorry everyone, I'll make a larger response when I'm able. So before this came up, literally I was talking with Nuzagi and he was like, okay, there's two ways she's gonna go about this. The first one is she's probably gonna do what all the celebrities do, like in the Philippines when they get caught with something, and they're gonna like throw their manager / agent under the bus. And then that's exactly what she did. He guessed it so right. And then there's another tweet that goes very viral by Vampeach's VT. This tweet blows up. It has 1.5 million views because she says, I remember playing Phasmophobia with you and hearing Red Shadow wait next to you before you first debuted like 4 years ago. You told me he was your boyfriend. Then before we met for TwitchCon, you switched up and said, just so you know, my manager is coming with me on this trip. As if I didn't know who he was. It's even ickier to read this tweet knowing he is your significant other, and that you're probably going to try and avoid taking responsibility for hurting people who trusted you as friends by nuking the red side of this duo. It's also crazy that she does that to, you know, somebody that she supposedly cares about. Unless that was his idea. Remember when Shondo said that all the VTubers managers were like actually their boyfriend? Damn, Shondo was right. Another thing about this part is there's also other tweets that Sinder has made where like, and other people knew that she was dating Red. For example, just this one. Manager-san, please stop eating chips in bed at 3 a.m. I'm trying to sleep. Like, do VTubers usually sleep in the same bed as their managers? Unless they're dating? I don't have a manager. What I find interesting is Lena's comment, because Lena actually went through something very similar with Bunny Ayu. So she says here, Nano, I'm so sorry to hear this. I understand exactly what it's like to be an artist working with a creator extremely prevalent in the community. So when something extremely inappropriate and uncomfortable happens behind closed doors, it's gut-wrenching and anxiety-inducing. It takes over your life and brings anxiety to you every day. You put your entire future at risk for coming forward, not knowing exactly which direction it's going to take your future and how the online world is going to react. I'm so proud of you for coming forward, bringing to light things that are not okay in this community. Thank you. I had a strong feeling something weird was going on. I had wanted to work with you so badly, and twice I'd been met with excitement from you. But for some reason, those projects had to halt not too long after. I imagine this was why, and it makes me feel really gross knowing you didn't have much of a choice at the time. I'm so sorry, man. Oh yeah, dude, that was such an unfortunate timing for the fan art. Can you keep a secret? I feel so bad. It's funny. It's funny because they try to make the most of it after. They're like, well, unfortunate timing. You know what the craziest part is? Is that even Maxer, who's a YouTube legend and a friend of Bao, commented on it, said, if you're a commissioned artist / editor or are contracted in the content creation sphere, please do not be afraid to stand up for yourself and set clear boundaries, referring to the Nanoless situation. And this is the Shondo tweet I was talking about. Translation: a lot of indie VTubers Oshis have boyfriends. Their boyfriends are reading your love confessions. Indies do not have managers unless they are actually corporate and thus are not indie at all. Alright, so this is the Rain document. My experience with Tashi / Sinder. Sinder was actually an ASMR GFE YouTuber by the name of Tachi MP3. She previously got into some controversy in the ASMR community for the ASMR community has like a lot of people writing scripts and writing community scripts, but Sinder would use some of these scripts, modify them a little bit, and didn't credit the artists. But this isn't what this Google document is about. In this document, Rain is talking about a trigger warning NTR situation, that happened back then. But it also paints like kind of a stark picture. It kind of like crafts really a pattern of behavior when it comes to Sinder that started many, many years ago. So the document starts by saying, thank you for taking the time to read this doc. The events described in it happened about 4 or 5 years ago before the first Sinder debut. I understand there will be doubtless be accusations of me for cloud chasing by revealing them. However, I want to corroborate Nanoless' assertion that she is not who she appears to be on the surface, and confirm that no matter how much damage control she does, she's just as responsible as Redacted. The beginning. Sinder and I met while she was still running her Tashi.mp3 YouTube channel, which is why all the following screenshots will show her as Tachi rather than Sinder. Oh yeah, another point is that Redacted's name at one point was Redacted MP3, which confirms that he's been with Sinder since way back then. And it's strongly hinted that he isn't the person mentioned in this Google Doc. So Sinder and I met while she was still running her Tashi.mp3 YouTube channel, which is why all the following screenshots will show her as Tachi rather than Sinder, and that will come up later. At the time she was only just starting her account, I already had my own ASMR RP channel with around 8k subscribers, and as a bigger channel than her, she couldn't wait to work with someone as talented as me. You'll get there, it's still hard for me to believe that someone so talented likes my voice enough to want to work together. We never ended up actually making any content together, but that didn't stop us from talking pretty much every day at the time, and eventually she found a new way to make me useful. Oh, the Content Tale tweet. Okay, so basically Rain and Tachi immediately start flirting, and she had a boyfriend, and both of them knew about it. They included regularly talking shit about him to me while telling me how great it would be were I to replace him, he says. I understand that I'm no angel in this myself, but hey, at least I can be honest about it. Besides, you said it's hard when your boyfriend is far, far away. I'm not your boyfriend, am I? No, but how nice that would be. You're perfect boyfriend material. Also, you want to go at it behind his back. How sneaky. Oh my god, they're role-playing. They're doing the whole role-play thing. Reading two people like flirt in DMs is always going to be cringe. Flirting is cringe. I don't think I've ever read one that wasn't cringe. Hi, honey. I've been talking to this guy about how badly I want him to... Oh my god. About how badly I want him to fuck me since you wanted to buy a fleshlight instead of giving me any attention when I'm needy. Fucking oof, dude. Literally, why would you even need a fleshlight when you have a girlfriend? He sent me a screenshot a couple weeks ago telling me he was getting one and had the nerve to use it in front of me to show me how great it was. Wow, yeah, must be great. Yo, what the fuck? That's like me inviting you to Chatterbait room so you can watch me fuck someone else all the way I said I want to fuck you. Isn't that great? I don't know how to do this voice. I'm very slowly not feeling as bad for him about all this, because it did honestly leave a bit of a bad taste in my mouth that all of this was happening while you were taken. But then Yeah, that's a bit... Did you tell him that he was fucked and hurtful to you? He asked me if I was okay with it, and after I explained how I felt, he told me it was too late to do anything about it because it's shipped, and he kept it. The cuck chair intensifies. I mean, far be it from me to give you advice, it's your relationship, and the only one who can decide what is and isn't okay and is in it is you two. I feel like I need a Vox voice for this. But that just sounds really sketchy to me. And why did he ask you if you were okay with it after he bought it? Well, all I'm gonna say on this is 2 wrongs don't make right. As much as I enjoy the sexting, it's really not right if you still want to be with him. I would either try to reconcile with him and get what you need out of the relationship and step back from me a little bit, or maybe consider taking a break. And I know that last part sounds fucked coming from me, but I swear on my life, I'm not being scummy about it. That's really my opinion. I just been really stressed about everything, and talking to you makes me feel so much better. I don't want to lose what we have, but I'm such an awful person. I don't deserve it anyway. I don't believe you're an awful person. I believe that you're stressed, you're emotional, and you're looking for something to make it better, which happened to me when he wasn't helping. Listen, take a break from what we have for just a little bit and see if you can get something out of him. First, you can't really have both of us. Plus, it wouldn't be very fulfilling to me to just be the other guy in this scenario and not get the full relationship experience myself. You can do it, sweetie. I believe you can. Truly. Yeah, he didn't call her kitten yet. I'm so sorry. I don't know what I'd do without you. I'm not saying to stop talking to me completely. I'll still be right here to support you, whichever decision you end up making. I love you so much. I don't know how to thank you. Despite what was evidently nothing serious for her and just means of keeping herself occupied, she felt the need to keep stringing me along with proclamations of real love, which again I was silly to have believed in the first place, but still. Regardless, I'm always going to love you. For obvious reasons, I won't share any of the explicit sexting, not just because of the not safe for work nature of it, but also I just don't think it helps. However, note that all of this went on for several months and included more than just text, as both the date and the content of the following screenshot proves. 2020, 0609. Okay. I mean, it looked like something was going on down there either way. It's called fingering, dear. One reason I felt important to share these details in particular is because I never found out if Red got told about what happened, especially not in full lucidity. The primary reason I've held on to all of this for so long was an itching feeling that Red never fully knew, and it always felt like it would be unnecessary drama, so I left it alone. Now it seems a good time as any. Red, if you're reading this, I'm sorry for all that happened back then. I really am. But given the actions you two have taken together regarding other VTubers, I still think you're perfect for each other regardless. The end. After Sinder got done using me for fleeting sexual gratification, our conversation slowed down, exacerbated by the Sinder character coming into fruition and finding immediate success. I'd stopped making content for a decent length of time by then, and thus she no longer felt she could ladder from me. So Cinder's channel blew up. His channel was kind of dying down, so she lost interest in him. Hey, what was your exam for? I haven't been on this Discord account super often, so I missed a bit. She made a new group chat without me. I kid, but yeah, there were the entrance exams for the uni college. Nice, congrats on passing them. I've just been on the VTuber side of things working with commissions and whatnot. What? And Sinder doesn't want to be my friend, only Tachi does. It's just easier not having multiple ongoing conversations. Until eventually she stopped using that account altogether and committed fully to Sinder, and I never heard from her again. Something I was uncannily aware would happen even back then. I'll message you at this time in 2022 and you won't even remember who I am. And she responds, I never forget you. And that's kind of sad. And that's pretty much it. This isn't meant to be a witch hunt. We all make mistakes, including me, as I've shown in the same doc. But it felt like a good time to get off my chest things that I've been on it for half a decade now, and to finally get some closure, even though I know how bad I look alongside her. She's an opportunist, wherever she can find a way to be, and she does not care what happens to the people she springboards off from. I can only hope she takes this all as an opportunity to change and grow as a person. And I'm just gonna throw this one at the end because it's kind of funny for me to see it in retrospect. Okay, thanks for reading. Don't forget about me when you become a big popular YouTuber. Feel free to read if you want. Go show love and support to both Nano and Bao though. This is going to be very unorganized, but I'll try to keep this brief since I don't really think that they, Red specifically, deserve any more of my attention after hearing what they have said about me and also how working with them was. First off, to address this part, him going in-house, I asked Bao to go anonymous and in-house because I had been wanting to focus on my own projects for 2025 since I had spent pretty much all of 2023 and 2024 doing videos for others and was having a lot of people and companies reach out asking me to work with or for them, and I'm not good at saying no to work opportunities, hence why a large majority either turn to becoming managers or their own content creators with their own platform. So I just wanted to be left alone this year to work on other things than just editing for other people, which is why I want to be separated from my commission work since I do not like the idea of just being labeled an editor. When me and Sinder initially discussed working on a music video project at TwitchCon, everything was fine and friendly. However, the part that is stated as practically jumped through hoop is, well, a bit of an overstatement to say the least. So the screenshots, they said that Bao's editor had jumped through hoops to work with them. And he says he loved working on it and is super excited to work on the next MV project. But Zach has another story altogether. He says they asked me a significant amount of times trying to get me to work with them. After I told them no multiple times, and I only said yes because they offered double pay. You wouldn't happen to be available for an MV in a week or two, would you? Well, I'm completely full every day this month. The earliest I could do is November 9th. Just checking in, thank ya. Sorry to bother you, but you all know the exact release date since I could try working something out to fit in y'all want? By the 22nd-ish. Okay, is it alright if I let you know in 2-3 days? This month is dummy busy. Hey Red, thanks for waiting. So I've been trying to figure out if there's any feasible way I could slide Sinder into my schedule this month, but between moving in my new apartment this week and the Halloween album, I think November 9th is the very earliest I can start. I'm very sorry, but if there's any project after that date y'all would like me to do, I can lock y'all in my calendar. How long does it usually take for you to edit an MV? Depends on complexity and length, so optimal would be over a week, 2 I guess for rush. How would you feel about me giving you everything for the MV now, work on it between your other projects, and have it to me by the end of October? I really would love to be able to squeeze y'all in. I absolutely would if I could, but I generally don't have any days free until November 9th at the earliest. This month and start of November is literally just an ass beating for my schedule. Alright, thanks Zach. You're missing out on a good one. When was it you're free again? Things have been pushed back a lot. November 9th is my last MV for Bao until like first week of December, I think. When is Sinder coming out? When it's ready. Okay, I'll start in a day or two after I wrap up the Bao's MV in that case. When is Sinder coming out now? When it's ready. Lamau, TBH, I'll start on it a day or two after I wrap up the Bao's MV in that case. This song has a lot of typography. Is that something you're good with? Can I hear it? If not, no worries, just so I can get an idea. Yeah, is it English or GP? English. Lots of animated text with different fonts. But yeah, that's fine. Is it just one still image she's using for artwork? No. I can send you more details in a week or two. Yeah, that should be good. Just hit me up when you got more info. I'm super down. Are you available? Sorry for getting back to you so late. All good. I'm still 100% down to do it. I would be able to start like first or second week of December for like mid-December release. Is that okay? We were hoping end of November release. Oh yeah, that'd be impossible for me. Like I said, I'm still super down to do it and really hope to be able to work with Sinder on the video, but my schedule is always super packed, fully planned weeks and months ahead without much wiggle room. So just let me know what y'all would like to do. What if we pay you double? You can send it all cook. You can send the invoice to whenever we'll get it paid ASAP. Also, I'm not sure what they're on about without not knowing about me working with them. Since I asked Bao with Sinder and Red standing right next to me at TwitchCon if it was fine. So they were all together at TwitchCon. He asked Bao if it was fine and Sinder and Red were standing right next to them. Since I had agreed to do all of the Halloween album but would probably miss one of the songs and she had no problem with it at all. Also, the stream was pushed back for the reason of the video wasn't done yet. Song was going up at 2 p.m. if I remember. However, this part really got under my skin. This part is important, chat. Due to the fact it was just straight up not true and if something goes wrong in the video production line, no matter who's at fault, the blame will fall to the editor/animator pretty much every time. So he sends this at 9:21 a.m. At 2 p.m., the stream goes live and it's pushed back, saying that the song isn't ready. So it felt as if I was getting passive-aggressively blamed publicly on stream in front of thousands for the lateness. Really upset me since the video was not late, even under a very tight deadline, when I did not even receive all the artworks until the 18th, the first full master until the 19th, and was then asked to also make a teaser version as well as an ad for the end of the video for their merch on the 21st, which I was not informed of at all prior to planning. I also had skipped going home for Thanksgiving after having a family member pass to get this video done. Oh god. And rushed the hell out of it. The entire video was done from scratch in a little under 2 weeks since there was quite a few both visual and audio assets I did not have at the time that even remotely resembled what the final product would sound like. So I felt this was an attack on my work ethic, which is something I take quite a lot of pride in. I did not receive the merch assets until the 27th as well either. Oh, so do you have a trailer? Vienna just had the idea today. 3 small trailers, a small part of each of their verses too, but if there's no time for it, that's okay. And then he sends them the changes at 12:58 p.m. Even with revisions and all the extra trailers, the video was completed and delivered on time with enough time for YouTube to process the 4K version. So the latest version was delivered around 1 p.m. So they would have still had time to upload it. There's probably more that I should clarify since I'm aware this is unbelievably poorly organized, but I'm very tired. I don't feel like giving any more energy to these people. If there's anybody that has questions for me, just send me a DM. Okay, I need to So Sprite is another indie VTuber that's been continuously compared to Sinder because they have, she's a Cerberus VTuber, which is a kind of hellhound, I suppose. I want to start by saying please do not send any hate to everybody involved, yada yada. First and foremost, my love and admiration goes out to Nonetheless for having the courage to bring this to light. Artists are the backbone of our community, and taking advantage of her good-willed personality is saddening to see. I want to take the time to address what has been brought to light involving myself and what I've experienced over the years that coincide with these events. In this screenshot, the VTuber that is being talked about is very clearly me. We saw those screenshots earlier. Since the beginning of my VTuber journey, it has been written in my backstory and lore that I'm the daughter of Cerberus and through an unforeseen summoning mishap, the Greek goddess Hecate. As many may know, Cerberus is a species of hellhound. I've always incorporated number 3 in my design to follow the 3 heads of Cerberus in my early design. And when artists were still learning new model rigging techniques, I had opted for other 2 wolf heads on my shoulder as pauldrons to symbolically represent my other 2 heads. However, the repeated comments of, if you're Cerberus, where are your other 2 heads, had pushed me to use the broader term hellhound at the time. Fast forward to months to a year into my journey, and I start to receive harassment and berating comments and chat messages on Twitch and YouTube videos comparing me to Sinder and putting me down for being a hellhound. Making the definitive switch to the Cerberus label brought me a sense of relief because the last thing I wanted was to be constantly compared or harassed at this point. I didn't want to be associated with her due to all the negativity that was being thrown my way. As for the claims of unfollowing her and taking her ideas, I debuted my 2.0 Live 2D model May 14, 2022, and on the same day, she decided to post her debut announcement for her 1.0 Live 2D model. Leading up to this time, I didn't know who Sinder was at all, but I had no idea she had fire in her ears or that she was another hellhound. The creator space is broad, and I still stumble across creators larger than myself that I had not heard of before. I never once stole her ideas. All I ever want is to try to be unique in my own way. So these claims that I was following her and then unfollowing and stealing her ideas are absolutely baseless and uncalled for. So she posted this photo, then Sinder posts this tweet. Her posting her debut announcement trailer the same day as my 2.0 debut seemed off, but I shrugged it off as a coincidence because things happen. However, this wasn't the last time something like this had happened. There have been multiple times where I have done something and either the same day or shortly after, I was made aware or had discovered later that something similar had been posted, making me feel like I was being watched constantly. I tried my best to believe that it was coincidental and not ill intent on their part. You know, after knowing how they're almost fucking one-siding stalking and spiting Silvervale, I kind of believed that they were watching her. There were many times when I designed a new outfit that I was really excited for, but afterwards Sinder would release outfits or models with similarities to it. I didn't think much of it at first, because it's normal to have similarities or shared inspiration with other creators. The VTubing community is a huge space and similarities are normal. I'm not speaking to whether my design were taken as direct references for her. I'm addressing the need for the unprovoked tweets mentioned in the screenshot above and showing that I made the statement to make it clear that I was not stealing ideas. How can I copy something that was released, teased, revealed after my own? So it's like there was also unprovoked tweets from her like, I didn't copy anyone else from my design is all me, this is who I am. Like, huh? What are you saying that to? On July 20th, 2022, May You Live, my model Mama, and I worked on comfy goth girl outfit. I had rips in my t-shirt, a G-string, shorts, and spiked wrist cuffs. 2 weeks after Sinder debuted a similar outfits, I included the earliest image that I could find of Sinder with this outfit. I received many negative comments about my design from people assuming that I copied her when I debuted it 2 weeks before hers. I got called off-brand Sinder and just a bunch of horrible things. I mean, the design is so similar. It's so similar, but how did Sinder have time to see the previous design and finish the art and rig for it in 2 weeks, though? Is that just a coincidence? But wait, there's more. I discovered this merchandise that she used for Uwu Market and had to do a double take because of the gray-blue skin tone used in the art. The art looks really good, though. Several people thought it was me, and the similarities for this speak for themselves, I feel. Yeah, I mean, it is really her color palette. On April 29th, 2024, I designed a Greek goddess outfit on stream. Debuted a 2-week different, but when was the design for the debut? Yeah, that's what I'm also wondering. Yeah, the document is mostly just Spy proving she was never a copy, despite what Red Singers say. Basically, she did it first. On April, designed a Greek goddess outfit on stream. I am Cerberus, a VTuber, so it fits my lore completely. I mentioned that I may or may not get a future Greek goddess outfit because it fits my branding. About 4 months ago, Sinder debuted a Heaven Okami-inspired outfit that was white and gold, resembling a Greek goddess. In the background for debut, she also included Greek columns. At this point, I felt like nothing I could come up with would be even slightly original to me. I'm aware that nothing is completely original, but I still wanted my own identity. That's a nice design. The internet is full of people that says one thing copied another just because they saw one first. This reeks my OC, don't copy from DeviantArt. Oh my god, totally. On April 20th, 2024, I debuted a new model from my model mama, REV. I got a hoodie with a cute design on top and I had side bangs covering my eyes. On April 4th, 2025, Sinder debuted a sports hoodie with covering her eyes similar to my... Dude! When I saw this, my jaw fell on the floor. There's no way! They look so similar! All she needs is the twin tails coming out of it. It's the same! It's literally the same! There are some instances that I do not have screenshots of. For example, I remember posting about my first ASMR stream. That day that I was supposed to do set stream, Sinder plugged her ASMR channel. I thought it was a bit suspect, but I brushed it off. I don't have screenshots of the comments and bullying that I received from her community. There were too many that it became too much to keep track of, and I just started ignoring them. Because I never wanted to save images of their words that hurt me. I didn't even want to read their harassing comments in the first place. I just wanted to be left alone and be happy in my own space. I received a DM on January 25, 2023. I'll not disclose who the sender was without their consent. The sender expressed to me that they were getting bullied by Sinder and certain members of Sinder's community because she too had fire in her ears. I never responded to the DM because I wanted to stay away from drama as much as possible. Hey, you popped on my feed. I couldn't just say I love your design. I had a rather odd question. Have you had any messages from the VTuber Sinder regarding your design? This may seem out of nowhere, but I'm only asking because I had made an OC like a while back and I was accused by her and others of stealing her design because my dog girl had flames in her ears and her fans claimed that that was exclusive to her design. It was this whole big ordeal on Twitter, so I wondered if anything similar had happened to you yet. I would like to clarify, I myself am not saying your design looks like her. I was scrolling, saw your totally awesome design. When I saw the flames near in the ears, I had flashbacks and thought to myself, oh no. So I guess it's just my curiosity getting the best of me. I'm just very saddened and disappointed in this situation. I had my suspicions about this, but I've never wanted to be part of drama, so I've kept quiet. I've also seen what happens when a creator stands up for themselves and receives major backlash, even if they're in the right. So I never vocalize my concerns. I've always designed my own models. I've got inspiration from Cerberus with the chains and spikes, Disney's Hades, and I call myself Goth Girlfriend. I was inspired by Sam and Ember from Danny Phantom, plus many other of our goth crushes that we've had growing up. I just focus on myself and my friends. Meanwhile, I had eyes on me the whole time. Knowing that I was being watched and talked poorly about really hurts, especially when they never attempted to interact with me. I did my best to go through and find what I could and get appropriate screenshots. It's crazy because I didn't know who Sinder was until she debuted her Life 2D. I just wanted to exist peacefully as a VTuber and spend my time drama-free. I woke up this morning in shock. It's terrifying and hurtful to know that someone could attempt to blacklist me when I've never even spoken to them. They tried to make it so Nano could not work with that VTuber ever. I hope going forward that no one else has to experience anything like this. Thank you guys for being supportive towards me. I love this community so much. Please go and give love and support to all of those who have really been involved in this situation. For me, the Greek column sealed it. It's kind of like this and then this. Wait. And she also has like the booba window bustier with the shoulder. And this one looks really similar. It's the same. It's the same, but just with different art styles. Spite is not making the claim that Sinder is copying her. She's mostly saying that Sinder made the claim that Spite copied Sinder. So Spite is saying, I didn't copy you, I did it first. I'm kind of thinking that Sinder copied her, but I don't know. I can't know for sure because these models do take time. It could be a coincidence because they have similar lores, but god damn, there's so many coincidences. How could this be? How could this be? And the timing too is odd. And then, I mean, he does mention in the screenshot that they're keeping tabs on her. Like, he knows a lot about her. So they're definitely watching her. He's like, oh, well, you know, they started taking her idea. They started taking Cinder's idea, like the flames. She used to be more she had another lore. She's rebranded to more of a fire Cerberus. And she's using fire emojis. She never did that before. It's funny because she used to call herself a hellhound, but stopped when Cinder grew past her and now uses Cerberus or Cerberpup, or whatever her lore says she is. Okay, after all of these documents came, that was the first round of Google Docs. I guess my timeline is mostly split into everything before the Cinder apology and then everything after the apology. So pre-apology, this is pretty much it. But then Cinder and her mods locked down the server because people are panicking, the fans are panicking. They're like, what the fuck is going on? Guys, let's just not bring it up here. Keep it out, please. Yeah, let's not bring up any drama. They try to keep it cute and cozy. She's definitely going to have to address it though, because most of the girlies have said something. Oh boy, I do love drama. Don't bring it up. As we said, move on, guys. Anyway, well, I tried. We don't know the full picture. Don't bring it here. Change the topic. Nice PFP. And then last night I got lost in the fog. Then I ran over the Taco Bell dock. Oh, the general chat is getting the Cinder memes treatment. I never knew that Taco Bell had a mascot. Shows how long I've lived under a rock. I've got a better argument here. Kirby can beat it. And then they locked the channel. If anyone is wondering about Cinder's Discord, they locked down everything. It's absolutely a shithole after 5 mentions of Cinder's behavior, cheating, jealousy, backstabbing, and toxic BF. So every channel is locked. Show the pet pics. She has a lot of members in that server too. Like what? Like 38,000? And as of recently, I believe all the mods are gone now. Oh yeah, okay, there's another document that came out that was one of the most massive one. The Silver Veil document. The Silver Veil doc. So that one came down like a hammer. My statement on Cinder and redacted. It starts with the usual disclaimer. It's not a call or excuse to turn the situation into a witch hunt. My intention for making a statement strictly to give myself closure from the events of the past years and clarify how I've been personally affected. I debated if I wanted to even say anything after being asked if I wanted my name in the original document censored, as the situation is much bigger than just my personal experience. However, after finding out how wide and extensive the transgressions were, I feel the need to give clarity to my situation and how I was personally affected. I want to note, as others have, that though a majority of the messages are from redacted Cinder's manager, I find it impossible that he acted solely on his own intention without Cinder's knowledge or consent, given the extent to which he has represented her publicly and professionally. I mean, like, if you wanted to have some kind of model exclusivity, what would you need to make that sustainable for you? Okay, so this is the uncensored screenshots. Basically, it's revealed here that it was Silvervale that was being talked about. I think the main things we're looking for are for you to not take on any brand new model clients and to not make any new models / outfits with Silvervale again. Okay, so this was Cottontail, right? The black barred name here. So it's, we can pay Cottontail for you, you don't have to discount it. You don't work with Bow, Cotton, or Silver at all again, models or art. I don't think you've ever done anything with Bow or Cotton before. We could do it like when Silver asked for your art, you tell her no and then tell us to buy another art piece. Is this about Silver's model, Nano? Yeah, I want to take it, but I don't want to disrespect Cinder. Nano, you're a freelance artist. Silver's a longtime client. Makes sense to continue working with her. I don't really see the point of keeping thinking about being compared to Silver. You're so much bigger already. You've done so much more. And I would never give Silver any priority over you. I understand if things don't work out about this, it would be mostly if you hate me for not burning Silver down from my list. Alright, so I am Vtuber 1 in the screenshot that's being... Okay, so it's Kumori, not Cotton, that is first mentioned as redacted. Here it's, okay, Kumori, but here is the second and third one is Cotton. Okay, that's settled. Let's just move on. I am Vtuber 1 in the screenshots provided by Nano in her document. I've been a friend and a client of Nano for years, and seeing how she was manipulated and abused by Cinder and Red makes me livid. She's an absolute sweetheart and just wants her clients to be happy. It breaks my heart to see how she was treated like a tool and a resource to be used for growth rather than a talented living person, and gaslit into somehow believing that's how she was being treated was okay. I'm so proud of Nano for having the courage to come forward to the affected people with all of this and to let everyone know how they were being unknowingly sabotaged. I've spoken to her privately. I want to be clear that I have no ill will or hard feelings towards Nano for her involvement in this. I urge people reading this to try and understand the emotional manipulation on display and empathize with her situation. There's a lot I could say about how disgusting I found their behavior towards other creators in general, but I want to focus on my personal experience. Silvervale says, discovering that all of this was going on behind the scenes has been gut-wrenching. I didn't know Cinder, we weren't friends, and we have barely talked. And I think a lot of this document stresses how little they've interacted with each other, and it really showcases how one-sided Cinder's almost malice was towards Silvervale. Even writing this, I do not understand what I express purpose of growth. For the record, I think it's fine to have that view and approach to content creation, but I also reserve the right to simply not vibe with someone. I would much rather not associate with someone at all than pretend to be their friend for the purpose of growing my brand. The only time I had actually talked to her directly was during my meet and greet at TwitchCon 2023. I had just finished my meet and greet, and as I was wrapping up, she walked directly to the screen to meet me and had someone take a picture of us together. I was not informed of this picture or asked permission for it, and only knew about it once I saw it on Twitter later on. That is odd. That is very odd. So this is a conversation through their manager at Mythic. Cinder's not at Mythic anymore. She left like 1 or 2 years ago, I believe. And she told them that they would rather not collab, but accepted her friend request on Discord after turning her down. In private DM, she reached out and asked me to do merch or other various forms of collabs to be monetized, to which I again declined. I will always prioritize my mental health and peace over any potential profit that would make me feel use transactionally and put me out of my comfort zone. Hi Silver, sorry for not getting back to you late. I've been super sick from TwitchCon. I guess a lot of us got sick after the last couple parties. I hope you had a good time at your meet and greet. It was so nice to see you there. But yeah, no worries. If you don't prefer to stream together, my manager suggested something more so like sponsorships, merch, music, or some kind of other project together that maybe music could help with if needed. I'd love to chat more either way. No worries, it's been super hectic and busy for everyone, lol. I hope you're feeling better. I'm really flattered by the persistence. Damn, I'm really flattered by the persistence. I missed that the first time I read the doc. But I'm just not interested in transactional relationships with anyone. I hope you can understand. She flat out also called it a transactional relationship. Well, it's just business. Why does Silver Veil always gets fucking zeroed in by these mean girls? The other one was Bunny Eye. She was also involved in it, dude. But she sniffed it out. Like, I think Silver felt that something was off with the Bunny Ayu situation. Because you can tell that she gradually starts talking to her less. Like, at the end of the day, it isn't about how much we make compared to her. We just want her. Oh yeah, oh my god, that cringe red message. That's one of the cringiest ones, by the way. We just want her to recognize, hey, Cinder's a big VTuber too. She got there on her own merit, just like you did. Get along. I had a new Live 2D model in the works for my birthday with Nano, which was eventually cancelled. I was devastated as Nano was the one who originally asked if she could do this model because she was excited to make it with all the new things she had learned, and my birthday was special. At the time, the reason given was health and stress reasons, which made sense given how much was on Nano's plate, and despite my disappointment, expressed my support for her prioritizing her health. I am now aware that the actual reason for her declining to work with me on my birthday model was external pressure from Redacted and Sinder. Words cannot describe how heartbroken I was and am. Silver, I have to cancel my model comm. Sorry, my manager told me I have to cancel the most comms possible for health reasons. I've been working too hard and it's getting onto me. I'm really apologize for this inconvenience. I was looking forward to it so much. I love your art so much and I've been so excited for a new model from you. I understand you have to prioritize your health and taking care of yourself. I hope your health improves and you feel better. Make sure to get lots of rest and relaxation. Do you know if you would be able to do it next year at all? Don't feel pressured or anything, just asking. I'm sorry, it hurts me a lot too. I just wish I could work on everything I could, but I believe I can still go for your model sometimes next year, yeah. That's okay, I know you have a ton on your plate and I can't imagine how stressful it must be. Do you think you can still do the gamer stub art? Oh yeah, illustrations are okay. So this is on November 17, and then these messages on November 25th. I didn't think our conversation sounded like I was trying to make you not work with her on a model. I tried to be transparent as much as possible. I think it's more fair. You didn't tell Silver you canceled because of Cinder, did you? No, I would never blame anyone besides me. And our conversation the other day wasn't meant to convince you of only doing Cinder work. Again, sorry if it sounded like that. Well, let's see if Geary wants a nano model or not, and hope Silver finds someone else. I hate the fake sympathy. I didn't think much of it at the time, but Cinder messaged me on Discord right before my model was cancelled. Yes, that is one odd part of it, man. That is weird. Cinder messaged me on Discord right before my model was cancelled. Hey Silver, I just got your gamer sub stuff in the mail. It looks amazing. It's so cute that we both have Nano's art on our merch since she's both our model mama. She's being all supportive and cute. And at the very same time, in the same breath, she's actively trying to make Nano cancel the model for Silver. That's crazy. Moving forward, Sinder and Redacted have spent years sabotaging me for no understandable reason. I've never done anything to warrant this other than just existing as Silverveil. They actively sought to get my models and art cancelled, and based on the messages I've seen and shared above, seem to have not had any second thoughts about doing so. It's hard to express how crushing a feeling it is to be talked about so cruelly and maliciously without my knowing. And to know opportunities and friendships were taken away for what I can only assume is spite and insecurity. There is no end to the amount of anxiety I feel knowing that if these rumors were expressed to Nano, I have to assume that they were expressed to others as well. I hope this document and the evidence will convince you that I'm not the person that Cinder and Redacted tried to convince people that I am. Thank you for taking the time to read this, and I hope that any and all of the people who have been affected by this can get the closure and peace they deserve. Insane. Alright, so next part is the Sinder apology and everything that goes into it. So she says, "There's nothing I can say to make this better, but I will try my best to properly convey my feelings, frustrations, and mistakes. I'd like to explain my point of view and apologize to each party affected. Redacted has been my co-content creator since I began making content, managing all aspects of what I do, and being a major part of why I'm here. We have also been in a relationship since the start of my endeavors, and it's no secret that many VTubers choose to keep their public and personal life separate, and I'm no different. As of yesterday, he's no longer working with me, and I have not extensively discussed any of this with him. Where our personal situation goes from here will be figured out between us privately. I never intended to mention us publicly, but given that the claims are out there, I want everyone to know I'm taking this seriously. After years of working on everything together, his hyper-business-oriented outlook warped my view of what it is I should be doing and what should be important to me as I navigate this career path. I have a terrible work-life balance as it is, and being around projects and streams all day, every day, made me lose sight of the point. It took all of this happening for me to realize this behavior isn't normal or healthy, and it's not an outlook I want to have. This doesn't absolve me of the things I'm willingly done wrong and went along with, or the way I've treated people who were fully undeserving. Oh my god, you know what this reminds me of? The Logan Paul meme. I've made a severe and continuous lapse in judgment. I don't expect to be forgiven. I'm simply here to... That's exactly what it sounds like. That I've made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment. I love that people use that meme. A new commission with me. It had been willingly and with excitement. From my point of view, it was that she generally wanted to be working on these things. I wanted to work with Nano as much as I possibly could, making her art the face of my brand. We had come to the conclusion that it'd be in my best interest to talk with Nano about making more time for my project. her model commissions last September. However, the claim that I was just using her is wrong. I've always treated Nano with respect, and as my friend, I did give her a lot of work, and we did everything we could do to accomplish this list. If I had known my friends were included, I would have said something to put a stop to it. I was only aware of it being about one person who I was unfairly pursuing. When Nano had messaged me about this agreement a month later, I was under the assumption this was only about Silvervale. I was upset, and my initial messages to her were very guilt-trippy. But I wasn't going to force Nano to do anything she wasn't okay with, and I tried reassuring her that I was okay with her decision. Nano had also never come to me as seriously and professionally as her document was looking to address the issues she had with either of us or to terminate our partnership. I had no idea there was even a conversation about Shy Lily recently between Red and Nano until reading her document. It's true, I had confided in Red that lately I hadn't been hearing from Lily like I had in the past and was worried something was wrong, but that's as far as it went. And he took it upon himself to try to dig for more info. What was it again? He hadn't heard from Lily, she was ghosting her, she didn't acknowledge the raid. So she claims that he made all that up by himself. And I was never even aware Nano was ever planning to work on a model for another one of my friends, Giri. I do not condone anything about what Red said about Bao in these DMs either, and him using we and our in this context is abhorrently incorrect and I believe was done to gain greater credibility behind what he was saying. But I didn't like that sentence the first time that I read it. That sentence is, I don't know, it triggers like a red flag for me. Abhorrently incorrect. I mean, he's part of your team. And I believe it was done to gain greater credibility behind what he was saying, but why would he need more credibility when he's your manager? Yes, Red and I were initially upset when Bao hired my editor, and I took it personally when I shouldn't have. I felt as if maybe my content wasn't good enough, or like I wasn't paying enough for his work. Wasn't he the one that was scared to ask for a raise? So she does admit that she did take it personally, which means they probably shit-talked her while they were together. But I accepted it and was happy for him for getting that bag and supporting one of my friends at the same time. And yes, I was also upset when Zach, the Bus Rush MV editor, had told us that he won't be working on any future project with us and would instead be working exclusively for Bao. Why is that an upsetting thing? I don't get it. But Red got it in his head that it was Bao's fault that it happened and seemingly held a grudge against her for it. He was very passionate about Bus Rush and the potential future projects around it, but he told me without an MV editor as talented as Zach, their future project wouldn't reach the same height. Bro, that's so dumb. It's just the packaging. So he created this headcanon that's laid out in those DMs. I wasn't convinced this was the case, but it's my fault for never speaking with Bao about these things directly to clear things up and letting it spiral to the point it got to. Every comment here about her own music, guilt-tripping, and claims about a shared feeling towards her are disgusting. And I honestly don't know why he thought this way about my close friend beyond the resentment over those two things, or why it was worth sabotaging her over. The "it's just business" screenshot of my DMs with Nano's document was from November of 2023, and I'll go into my thought process of everything I said here. What Red was trying to explain to Nano is that if everyone has a model by her, then the innate value of her models overall are diminished by there being an oversaturation of that type of model out there. Yes, we understood that part. If everyone in the world had a Vtuber model done by her, then the value of her model wouldn't be the same as if there were only a handful of them, which he viewed as a negative for me. I understand where he was coming from with this, but in the Vtuber space, this isn't something we should have pursued. Nano had an amazing skill where she'd be able to draw each of her Vtuber children uniquely, so I was never upset seeing new model siblings. In many cases, I was there cheering them on at their debut and looking to collab with them as sisters when I could. Me saying "it's just business" was referring to my acceptance of Nano's business decision. whether she chose to work with me or not. This was not in reference to anyone's model being cancelled, further explaining to her that it's okay if she chooses not to work with me. Okay, but I'm still gonna use this sentence to meme. Is this true? I don't know. Maybe it could be either or. That's like saying if a voice actor voices too many characters, then the value of this character won't be good and won't be the same. Do I bother pulling up the screenshot again? I'm doing good with Subnano. It's mostly about this. I thought on canceling some models because of it, but then I realized it's not really fair to me. I understand what he means, but at the end of the day, it's just business. Nah. Press exit out. I don't buy this. You know what? After revisiting the screenshot, I don't buy her excuse for it. In that context, it doesn't look like she's talking about if Nano declines. I can understand where the next part can sound manipulative, but my intention was to reminisce about the journey we had together up to this point, since at this time, I wasn't sure if this is where Nano and I would stop working together as frequently as we had been, and I'd have to look for a new model artist. I did encourage her to work on projects she's excited about while I talked with Fred to find a project that would work with her schedule. When talking about Silverveiled, I need to start at the beginning. Before I was Sinder, I was a pink cherry blossom girl named Tachi that did ASMR content. When the Vtuber boom happened in 2020, I knew I wanted to join in. Red and I contacted an artist in October and they were set to start my Vtuber design by December. The plan was to take my cherry blossom persona and make her pink and white wolf girl Vtuber. In November of that same year, Silverveil revealed her Sakura Wolf redesign. I had heard of Silverveil's earlier that year, but I didn't watch her streams at all. We knew we had to pivot before we were stuck with a design that would just be a copy of one of the most popular VTubers at the time. Like I've explained many times on my stream, I knew I wanted to be a wolf girl, so I mixed my love of Okami and metal music into the design and came out with a hellhound. My name was originally going to be Amber, but Red came up with the name Sinder since it was a mix of sin plus cinder, both hell and fire themed. It was only a coincidence that it ended up being similar to Silver. I was genuinely interested in pursuing a friendship with her, and drew fan art myself of us together. On the other hand, Red was in my ear the whole time saying how great working together would be, since again, he's been the business-oriented side of my brand. Since I started streaming, I have been ruthlessly compared to Silverveil, being called the discount version of her. I was accused of copying her design, copying her personality, even copying her laugh of all things, and there was a large number of people who were diehard believers in the fact that I stole all of these attributes maliciously for my own gain, citing the art I posted of us together, calling her an inspiration, when in reality, this was referring to the decision to become a hellhound. The only time Silverveil was mentioned in the original redesign of my character was when we explained why we were pivoting to something else and there were no reference of her characters involved. I grew more and more resentful of Silver over time. So there she admits to a lot of the things in the Silver statement. Between the constant belittling of myself, a controversy around my first waifu cup, and other incidents, even though she herself never interacted with me directly, and it was also the fact that made me insecure, like I wanted to know if she believed all of these things or not. I really felt as if she didn't like that, I even existed in this, that if she didn't like that, I even existed in the same space. So at this point, I was working with Nanokun. We brought up not making any more models for her. If a VTuber model is how everyone recognizes you, then it'd be harder to compare us directly if we no longer looked alike or have that shared similarity. It was wrong and selfish decision, but it made me feel better, and that's why it was a constant topic with Nano. Red pushed me for this harder than I ever did because he knew how it affected me for years, but no matter what the outcome was, I wasn't going to walk away from working with Nano. Silver was completely undeserving of this treatment, and it was my own insecurities that led me to make this choice. I became unapologetically evil towards her due to no direct action of her own. There's no excuse for any of this. Moving on from Silverveil, let me talk about Spite. Once again, I had no involvement or knowledge of Red bringing up Spite to Nano in 2023. My only personal involvement with excluding someone specific from working with Nano was Silver. My design sheet and outfit were finished and made public at the very start of 2021. The first thing she mentioned is a debut teaser in 2022 that was apparently posted on the same day as her original debut, which I honestly don't know if at the time this was intentional or not. I don't know when I first discovered Spite, and I could have been after she debuted. When I first debuted, I was very possessive of my design details. I hadn't made it a year and a half since my design sheet was finished and public to having a full VTuber debut, as I watched everything grow and change from the sidelines, and I didn't want anyone else to capitalize on my concept before I could. Soon after my original debut, I remember Spite getting an update to her model that made it seem like she more closely resembled me, including fire added to her model. Without evidence, I saw it, and though she must have copied me, but I never did anything about it other than voice my frustrations to Red. I didn't want to start drama with anyone, and I didn't have ownership over fire as a design detail. The references for the ripped shirt and shorts outfit on my bikini model was given to Nano in June of 2022, with the purpose of having a cover-up outfit that would be safe for Twitch. The merch art she's referring to was designed around my concept of fire changing blue. The fact that the rest of the art was grayscaled was the artist's choice since it was going on to the back of a hoodie. And I didn't have a say, or at least I didn't counter that being the final decision. There was no intention to deliberately look like Spite with this piece. I think I believe that for the waifu cup, yeah. Unfortunately, both my Angel and Sleepy outfits being similar to outfits Spite has done in the past was just a coincidence. I had always planned to one day make an Angel counterpart to my Demon outfit when it was being made in 2023, and my original ref sheet laid the groundwork for that idea. I've never themed anything around my brand in a religious light, so I chose to make my Angel more Valkyrie than biblical, which I think that's a terrible idea, just saying. An angel form that's like a Greek Valkyrie. That's not... Anyway, that's just a nitpick. Which also gives a similar look to my demon form. The Sleepy outfit was a last-minute decision to pivot from a fully new 3.0 model because I had the opportunity to work with gamer subs on an AFK flavor. Spite never should have received the hate comments over her outfit or any comments comparing us or belittling her because of my existence, and I never advocated for anyone to do so, especially given my experience. I hate the Greek Valkyrie angel idea. I hate it, but that's just fucking history. Dude, if you're gonna do an angel design, just do an angel design. Like, it can't be an angel design without fucking wings. Meanwhile, she's so protective of her design that she overreacts at Neon Tails, who is just an image, no model. You'll see it's just an image that isn't even really similar. True. Oh shit, I skipped this entire part. At the very start of my online career, I was a GFE ASM artist. Before I started my channel, I had gotten into listening to roleplay audios myself. I had always been a shut-in throughout high school and college, and I wasn't happy with where my life and relationship were at the time. After uploading my first few audios, my channel started growing fast. This was the first time I was inundated with so many people wanting to know me and talk to me, and I got lost in the excitement of it all, not fully coming to terms with these messages being because of the kind of content I was making. I was immature and inexperienced with how to conduct myself online. I had never had many IRL friends and had met Rain doing ASMR. I quickly became comfortable chatting with him about everything, divulging my grievances about my personal life when I shouldn't have, and I cheated on my boyfriend with Rain in these conversations, flirting and sexting. I used Rain for emotional comfort and sexual fantasy while I let my real-life relationship collapse. It was about my dissatisfaction with my personal life and escaping into messages with someone else who I found through content focused around GF and BFRP. It was never about climbing the ladder with Rain, and I found that being his takeaway from why I moved on baffling. By the time I was ready to debut as Sinder, I wanted to leave that in the past. Still to this day, I regret my decision, and I've been living with it since. And I was lucky to be able to mend my relationship after this. I wonder if Red found out from the doc or if she discussed it, because she says I was lucky to be able to mend my relationship after this. Lastly, I want to address speeches. This is a very big problem I have, and I'm sure many others in my position do. At the end of the day, I'm one person working on multiple projects with multiple companies, talking to dozens of people and streaming for hours almost every day. I've never had a big social battery, and I get tired very easily when I interact with people. I haven't had much energy at all over the past year, leading to me taking frequent naps. I've really been able to keep up with my closest handful of friends on a frequent basis, let alone everyone else. Red has always been a big help in keeping up with things, but he doesn't do everything. I'm so sorry I made you feel forgotten, Peaches. I've always cherished your friendship, and I was so incredibly excited to meet you in Paris. I'm so grateful for everything you've done for me, and I've never thought to purposely drop you just because I could. I'm sorry. I know I've made a lot of people feel forgotten or ignored. It's so easy to get caught up in projects or what I'm doing. Well, I have the energy to do it, that people fall by the wayside. I understand the feeling of those who resent me over this, and all I can say is, I'm sorry. I don't deserve to be able to contact everyone involved directly to personally apologize, so I'll do it here in a chance they read it. To Nano, I'm so sorry I let things get to this point or even entertain the thought of you working exclusively with me. That's not fair to you. I wouldn't be there without you, and I wouldn't have been able to do the most of what I've already done without you. I felt overly attached to our relationship over the past 4 years and loved your work so much that I wanted to make myself exclusive to your art, and I should have never sought those feelings to be reciprocated. Everything you've ever worked on for me was always so perfect, and I lost sight of how everyone around me would have felt. Just of pressuring you into anything, but looking back on my clouded judgment, I can see how my messages felt that way. When I talked about how my model helped you improve, I meant that as looking back on how far we've come together. Really? We've been friends for so long and cheered each other on when we both started growing and getting more opportunities like plushies, figures, etc. You had been my exclusive artist for full Life 2D models for the majority of my time as a VTuber. And of course, I would have been sad if you didn't want to continue the relationship. But in all of our private DMs, I was okay with you ultimately doing what was best for you. I saw you as someone I trusted and loved and wanted to make sure you were still taking care of yourself with all of the projects you took on, mine or otherwise. I never saw you as just a business partner. I thought I was reassuring you that I'd always be understanding if you wanted to move on to other projects. I genuinely appreciated our friendship. I always saw you as a close friend, and I'm sorry for what I put you through. To Bao, since the start I've always admired you and how genuinely you've always been to everyone. I wouldn't be here without you either. I'm disgusted with myself for buying into the narrative that my friends were competition. So she did think like that. I've never had such genuine friendships in my life, especially with you. We've gotten to know each other so well online and in person. You've already been through so much, and the last thing I'd want to do is cause more harm. But I did. I'm sorry for not reaching out sooner about these ideas that were put into my head. These ideas that were put into her head. I wish we would have been able to talk about this too. I didn't know about the severity of things that had been said and theorized about my own friends behind my back until now. It's my fault for not realizing the things Red was saying about you. The countless friendships I've made here with the last several years mean so much more to me than him and the business side of things, and his way of thinking. No amount of popularity or money means more to me than the relationships I've built in this community. I've always been myself, whether that be on stream or in person, and I hope the friends I've made can understand I'd never condone this behavior or any of the things that were said about my friends. I've always wanted everyone around me to thrive and find happiness. I can't stress enough how disappointing I am that I didn't see this until it got to a breaking point. I'm sorry, Bao. It was very funny. Neuro was very funny. And absolutely love all the hard work you put into the Boss Rush song. I was so grateful to hear you were on the board to edit the MV. I don't remember exactly why the stream got pushed back, but I definitely wouldn't have put the blame on you knowing about how soon the deadline was when you started working on it. I was so thankful for your willingness to complete the project despite everything. The quality of how it turned out was incredible. I can't believe how Red talked about you, especially after all the efforts you put in for me. I'm sorry for everything that happened. To Cotton and Lily. I'm sorry you had to get dragged into this. It's my fault I let it get this far, but I hope you can believe me when I say I had no knowledge of Red bringing you up in Nano's DMs. I just learned about this all myself, and there could have been so many other friends affected by the narratives that things always had to be competitive. If I knew Red was trying to exclude specific friends in this exclusivity deal, I would have spoken up. None of my friendships are worth sacrificing over an art piece. Why would you need to exclude specific person in an exclusivity deal? If you're exclusive, you only work with one person. It would have just settled it. I love being your friend and all the memories we've shared, and I hope someday you can forgive me for allowing this to happen. The silver apology I feel like it's so fake, but I don't know, that's just a hunch. Since the start, I loved that I saw someone else sharing so many similar interests to me, and I thought maybe someday we could talk about it all and be good friends. I was blinded by all these hate comments around me calling me your lesser half. I hate the person I've become towards you. I tried reaching out some time ago to try to start up a friendly conversation to change things and make things right, say hi to you at conventions and support your endeavors. But despite all that, I was still being eaten alive by my own doubts and fear or harassment. I was pressured. Is the harassment just mean comments saying that she looks like Silverville, or are they actually crazy? There probably are some crazy people about their Oshi's appearance. I got pressured by the community as a whole to try reaching out to collaborate since I got these messages so often comparing us, and I hope we could work something out. The photo of me at the meet and greet was taken candidly and I thought it looked so cute, and I posted it without asking you which was wrong with me. I was so wrong for letting everyone get in my head about all these malicious feelings. Like, there's no accountability here. That's my problem. That's why I busted out the ukulele gif, because it's the toxic gossip train, you know? It's other people putting us into her head. She says, I'm sorry, but it rings hollow. This part is extremely wordy. I'm sorry I had assumed things about your design that weren't true. To Spite. Spite, I'm sorry I had assumed things about your designs that weren't true. I'm sorry you've been harassed by commenters needing to compare us, and I apologize for the way Red spoke about you to Nano. You didn't deserve any of this, Spite. I'm sorry. To Peaches, I'm sorry I made it seem like I was ignoring or ghosting you. I was so happy we had the opportunity to meet in person, and I was apologetic with how busy things were for me at the time. I wanted to spend more time with you, but I got more and more DMs and messages. Everything became so overwhelming. I've always had a low social battery, and that made it so hard for me to keep up to date with all my friends. I've never had any ill feelings towards you, and I still don't. To Rain, you were the first person I met as an ASM artist during a time where I was immature and vulnerable. That part also feels super fake. I ended up being consumed by the content I was making and led me to making awful decisions I still think about and regret. I was not in a good spot at the time. I've hated myself for this kind of behavior, and it took a long time for me to move on from what happened. I had no excuses. I'm sorry you were dragged into my drama, and I'm sorry how I made you feel after I just wanted to close the books on things. I think she idolized her, and then she was miffed that Silvervale turned her down. Yeah, I agree. I'm sorry to my pups and my mods for expecting me to lead by a better example than this. I'm sorry to the Vtuber community for looking towards me as someone to aspire to. And I'm sorry to Kaiser, who put his heart and soul into everything he's ever done for me and not even talking to you about how I felt. I'm sorry to the dozens of artists that have put their hard work into me, and I'm sorry to the rest of my friends who I've let down. I've led a bad example and I don't expect forgiveness. I've made many mistakes over my 5 years on the internet, and I'm only one person living the one life I get for the first and only time, like everyone else. As I said at the start, I ended up developing an extremely unhealthy work-life balance, and the harm Red has caused with the way he viewed things is irreparable. The way I've been perceiving things lately is not how I want to view the world moving forward. And this goes to show there's a lot I need to address and improve if I'm to continue being a creator. I'm devastated that the friendships so special to me may understandably never be mended again. I love my job and I love all the friends I've had. Thank you for reading. Okay, where's the tweet? Buff up. Dude, fuck off. 1 million views. The Shy Lily tweet was insane. The absolute audacity to sit here and continue to manipulate and gaslit is absolute insanity. I've never seen Shy Lily this angry. Like, you know you fucked up if you made her that angry. The pain and mental torment you've caused to the ones closest and most supportive of you has been devastating, and I have never been so heartbroken and hurt so badly for my friends. You are the fakest person I've ever had the displeasure of supporting, reading, and hearing of how you really viewed me behind my back. Not just through screenshots of your man, but also your very own messages, while having to sit here and read through these bullshit lies you spin makes me want to vomit. Okay, so there's more. So it looks like Shiley saw even more behind the scenes. To claim that you didn't know a single thing and had zero awareness of what your man was up to, when everyone who's shared even a single moment with you knows that you basically operate as the same person, sharing every waking moment while loving to jump at the slightest opportunity to turn into your most slanderous self as soon as the opportunity was given. Even when talking about your friends is sickening. She did, and she got a lot of receipts, and Tricky saw more too. I have experienced your own actions without Red in a situation where in your own screenshotted words, you express a pressure to live up to what Lily is and proceeded to throw one of your most loyal and supportive friends under the bus after months of continuously planning just because you consistently chose a business over friends, never feeling bad for failing them, just to earn the bag and compete with me over a V-Card collab that you rescheduled to be on the exact date your friend needed you to keep an important promise. Yeah, she bailed out on Numi's concert and blamed it on Shy Lily and having to do the V-Card collab. But Shy Lily says that she could have picked any day. A Lily with a steel chair. You actively lied about it to them, instead blaming me for a collab you rescheduled, adding me to the pool of excuses to save your ass when you realized you were being a bad friend. Why blame me for choosing to miss an obligation you agreed to? On one of the most important days in that friend's career, bailing out on the collab last minute is already like so stressful. I can't imagine bailing out on a fucking live concert, and Bao had to take some time off and fly overnight to bail Numi to show up for that concert. Like Bao is such a ride or die friend. It's insane. Props to her for that. Everything you do is out of competition through your constant need to one-up the people who are the sole reason you even have these opportunities and platforms to earn from to begin with. You're welcome, by the way. Okay, that was funny. You're welcome, by the way. You claim that it's just business. Well, in the business world, there has to be accountability, and all you've done is try to shove it away and admit to nothing. In true narcissistic fashion, you're only feeling sorry about yourself and your own consequences and your career and try to salvage it. I'm sorry for everyone who looked up to you as an inspiration, and I'm especially sorry for your fans. Pyropups deserve better. Wow. I read it the first time, but reading it again, damn, she's the GOAT. Same, Muujin. Same. Shoto, I'm just really disappointed, dude. As if boyfriends and girlfriends don't tell each other every single little thing, you are blaming him to save yourself. I'm so disappointed in you both. Shame on you for the pain you have caused to all your friends just so that you can be the best. Oh yeah, I like the Neanners one also gave I feel more insight from Silvervale's side. I've seen Silver receive so much harassment and unfair comparisons to you over the years, and she just tanked it, minded her business, and never once tried to sabotage your success or tear you down. Deflecting and outright lying several times in this response, instead of fully owning up to your mistakes, is insulting to everyone. I can't help but feel very frustrated on behalf of my friend and everyone who was on the receiving end of so much unnecessary stress, largely due to the choices you made. They handled the situation with much more grace than you decided to, and they deserve better. The weird backhanded remark you made the first time we ever met last year stuck with me. And now it makes a lot more sense knowing that this is apparently how you normally view and treat people. I hope you can learn from this and realize it's way easier to be kind and to be happy for your success as well as the success of others. Alright, spill the tea, Neanners. What was the backhanded remark? We need to know. The old classic shift the blame onto BF, fake a breakup, come back single and in therapy, and then capitalize on what's left of your community. They deserve better. Oh yeah, the Bao reply was kind of important, huh? How? How can you say you didn't know? I showed you both my base model sketch from Nano at WeebCon. We walked on stage and performed together. You were in the group chat where I shared my sadness over Nano suddenly canceling my model after we were so close to begin Life 2D and rigging. And to now found out that just the day before I shared my sadness, this is the conversation that happened that ruined months of debut prep, planning, merch, and preparation. If you want to apologize to me, please do it properly and stop hiding behind Red. Planning a debut is hard work, guys. It's distressing to have somebody cancel last minute. And oh man, and I can give her the design for free as an apology. No, don't do that. At least propose half payment. She has so many connections, she'll find someone super fast. Did you already design her outfit? I remember her showing it to us at WeebCon. And then the photo in the group chat, Smoj, Nano had to drop me as a client because her work schedule is too hectic right now. There's also the Aru tweet. I hadn't planned on tweeting anything about this until I saw Sinder's apology. While I wasn't hurt to the extent others were, it's clear now that I was lied to and used, not treated as a friend, but as a tool. Aru has a way of... again, dude, all of the people that were abused by other Mean Girls VTubers are also having experiences with this one. It's crazy. I first met Sinder during a Twitch Rivals tournament and really looked up to her. We hit it off, messaged a lot, and got closer at TwitchCon, where I spent most of the day with her and Red. At one point, she noticed I was mutual with Silverveil, someone I admired since meeting her at PAX, and asked if I could introduce her. I thought she was just a fan like I was. Cinder invited me to go with her to Silverveil's meet and greet, and it meant a lot to me. As someone who didn't grow up with many social invitations due to being held in a foreign country, that gesture felt special. But looking back, I realized she only invited me because she thought I could give her access to Silver. After I introduced them, Cinder pushed me to ask Silverveil for a collab. I'm someone who rarely initiate collabs. I prefer to build friendships off-stream first and let things happen naturally. Yeah, I'm kind of the same. It's hard for me to straight up ask somebody for collabs. I will try to work on that though. Still, I went out of my comfort zone to help because I believe she genuinely admired Silverveil. Now I know that wasn't true because of all the screenshots and shit talking we saw. I realized she actually harbored resentment the whole time, makes me feel completely used. I wasn't a person to her, just a connection. I did message Silver about the collab the first time, but when Cinder followed up again, I brushed it off because I didn't want to pressure her. Over time, I started noticing that Cinder didn't treat me like a real friend, more like a means to an end. Sometimes she made it clear IRL that she didn't even like me. This part confused me. I was like, wait, she just straight up said that she doesn't like you? And I can't help but think it's because I didn't push harder for the collab. By 2023, our interactions had nearly stopped. Still, I try to keep things friendly in DMs and IRL because I didn't know how to stand up for myself or set boundaries. That's changed now for obvious reasons. It's hard to say, but Cinder's apology doesn't feel genuine. Especially not towards Silverveil. Yeah, I agree with that. I got that hunch too. The truth is, Cinder isn't the only one who makes others in this space feel used or small. People like her, Yaki, which I made a video about, and others made me feel that the best choice for myself was to step away from VTubing entirely and made me afraid to build new connections. But as I said yesterday, they are good people in this space and they're the ones worth holding on to. Don't let the bad ones stop you from being your genuine self. To my community, I think I'd like to try coming back to VTubing when we talked about it last night. Hearing how much you all loved the VTubing streams honestly hit me hard, and it made me sad to realize I gave up on something I loved just because of the shitty, awful people who poisoned the space for me. To the friends I pulled away from because I was trying to protect my peace, I'm sorry. I'd love the chance to reconnect and rebuild those friendships. I started VTubing because I believed in the joy and creativity of this community. It's heartbreaking to see the spirit dimmed by people who take advantage of others' kindness. Hold them accountable. Call it out. What I went through wasn't nearly as intense as what Nanoless experienced, but I do understand how hard it is to say no to a friend. Especially when they make you feel like you're the only one who can help. I truly hope everyone affected by Cinder can heal and move forward, and I'm sorry for any negativity the situation has brought up from my side as well. So these are the screenshots between Cinder and Aru. Would you want to come meet Silver with me at 2:30? Of course, I'll go with you. I'm just really nervous and I think I remember you meeting her before. Yes, I've met her. She's so nice. Don't worry. You're the best. Let's see what time you want to meet up. Whenever you're free. Okay, I'll be free in 10. And then Cinder messages her again saying, were you still thinking about messaging Silverveil about a Wolf Girl chat? I'm not sure if she'd really want to, but I'll have to do more with you anyway. We should plan our spooky collab when we've recovered from this weekend. Oh, so she tried to get a collab with Silver through the Mythic manager, and then again. Let me message her and ask if that's okay. We can wait a bit if you're still recovering, but if you had a daytime in mind, just let me know. My schedule's pretty open right now. I know I'm pooped from this weekend, but I want to do lots with my friends still. Sounds like she would be down to play games together once her schedule clears up. Hi, it was amazing seeing you too. Ari, I was wondering you would ever be down to play some games off streams if I had time. Totally understandable if you're too busy, though. Cinder and I were just talking about how fun it would be to have a canine night. Cinder was the hellhound that was with me at the meet and greet. That would be a ton of fun. I've been really busy lately with the con prep and stuff, but things have been calming down lately. So it's not like an on-stream collab, it's an off-stream just playing games. Okay, that's probably why she said yes. Hey, Ari, have you heard about Silverville, about doing the Wolfie collab with us? Let me message her right now. Dude, there's so many fucking screenshots and thumbnails that have aged so poorly. My friends should have never trusted me. Hey, you, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell button. And I'll see you in the next video.